Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It's Lord, quote, welcome once more to the Retro Spectrum channel. I'm Ewan Spence. Hello, how are you all doing? I'm still getting the hang of everything. I don't know if I've got the webcam here, but I have made sure the cat's not right in front of the screen, which is great because today we're going to look at another Spectrum classic. We're going to look at one of the games from early on in my career, in my Spectrum career. That makes it sound like I've been planning this for decades. I wish I was. 1984, Beyond Software, and this was this was a special game. It came in a really big box. It had a two-color instruction manual, and it put you in charge of a moon colony under attack from aliens and UFOs and three-legged dogs. It is, of course, Psytron from Beyond Software. Now, again, we're still quite early in the Spectrum's career, 1984. To give you your context, the machine came up in 1982, had a little bit of sales running at Christmas. 83, it was, struggling to keep the sales. 84, it was established, and games were a big thing, and people had time to, sit down and really get to grips with the code and everything in the machine, and how it would do with games, and come up with some really innovative games coming through here. And Psytron is one of them. It's 6 levels, and you start off as the overseer, the control, the computer, the master, the chief, whatever you want to call it, of a space colony. On my brain wants to say Beta 3 as the unknown planet. Not that makes any difference to the game. It's Betula 5. So bet and a number coming in there. Let's just get ready for this. Good. We've got our classic Spectrum ready to go. We could just do load and quote, but in fact we've got a game ready to go now. I will be really honest here. I'm in the middle of a game. This is a game that you had to play each level 5 times at a minimum, and get over a certain percentage score to get through to the next level. So I'm in a sort of weeks to months long replay of this game. I've not picked it up for a week or two actually, but we're getting the streaming stuff and some of the other titles sorted out. But we're going to have a go at one of the plays on level 4. Now you'll see here that I've played in this save 2 games actually, 25 and 37%. And a 49% as the score. 49 is the last two, which gives a 37% average. Now, the good news is, there isn't any good news. I've just done disastrously bad. I've got the PDF loaded up on the other screen on here, and the aim of this level is, I think it's 60%. And you need to get an average of 60% over the last games you play, and you will be allowed to go to the next level. Now here's the thing, you're talking about 5 minutes per level in the first 3, then we're up to 10 minutes on this one. So just to play 5 of these games is 50 minutes when you get to this level. So you have to kind of like save it onto tape and then load it back into tape again on a blank cassette, which you would do with the Spectrum. And I never did when I was growing up. So I only saw this level when I was young, playing this once, maybe twice, in a big weekend playing session. Now, of course, I can just dip into 5-10 minutes thanks to the saving of the ROM and RAM images on the emulators. It's always using Spectacular, and it is a registered copy, don't worry. So we're going to go into this now. I can tell you now that with me doing the talking and walking you through this and explaining the game and everything that's going on, I am unlikely to get close to the 60% on this one. It is not going to be pretty, but it will give you an idea of the game. It will give you an idea of the play. For the first, we can go to full screen. And there are some wonderful Spectrum graphics to look through here. So we'll pop into full screen to get you a closer look at this level. And what you've got here actually is screen 1, and this is the recycling unit, and these will be all named as you go through. You've got a gun sight for your big space cannon, you've got your central corridor, which you can see that strange black dot just above the red tube. That's your snail droid, and you got UFO in the sky, and all of that going on. So let's just get underway then, shall we? We'll play the same level again. Kempston joystick ready on the trusty PlayStation controller, but there's a lot of keyboard input in this one as well. So this I'm trying to remember how old this is actually. Episode 2. There we go. I've got a new chair and it keeps knocking the table. There we go. Right, same level. Here we go. Recycling unit. So you can have a sky drone and you can move that there. Or we can switch over to our little runaround droid. All of these, of course, have a gun. There you go. But it fires like that, and there's a recharge time. Your sky drone has one as well, but that costs one element of fuel. And this is also, as well as a shooting game, is a resource management game because we've got button 1, button 2 gives you all. Actually, UFO and button 2. So let's just get that underway and start firing. And you'll see there that we've already in 3 screens, and I've already got a damaged base. As I said, because this is going to be a playthrough video, I'm not going to be focusing wonderfully on getting anything done here. So, yes. There's so much going on already. And this was the thing, Psytron really built up at the time. And those initial levels did help you get a hang of what was going on. There's going to be a lot of scanning. You're moving around quite quickly, so we'll knock you out as well. Right, so you've got 10 screens of action. You've got that's basically the entire ring around the base, and they're accessed through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 on your keyboard. So you can literally just pop through and have a look at all of that. Each one of them plays a different part in maintaining the base. So you've got oxygen recycling, at crew quarters, and as we see here, a freeze generator. We might come to that in a time once I've got some damage. Oh, we've got damage, haven't we? The crew quarters, and all of these interact to keep your base alive. So you can get there. We'll talk about what's happened. This is not going to go well. Anyway, you're shooting things out of the sky, and this is the bit I remember. It is just absolute. You're getting close. It was punishingly brutal because you needed pixel perfect on the laser shot decision, and you weren't guaranteed a clean kill. You'll see that occasionally when we hit something, that damage next indicator at the bottom sometimes comes up blue and says, you've got 60% damage there. And then we've got 100% damage there. And there you go, there's a one-shot kill. Right, where should we go from here? Let's just quick to... I'm not explaining much yet. Right, okay, see, there we go. Look, we've got a bit of space here. They've beamed in a saboteur, the 3-legged dog. So my snail with a gun climbs on the top of the corridor. There we go, and it explodes in the air. Oh, that's great. Right, where were we? Yes, Psytron. You have to shoot things out of the sky before they bomb. If they bomb, it's actually going to be a big explodey bomb, as you can hear in the background there, which has just happened there. Thankfully, it's entered waste ground, so it's not caused any damage to the material. And as areas get damaged, they become less and less efficient. Base becomes less and less efficient, and it becomes harder and harder to manage. And the goal here is to last 10 minutes on this level without your base being drastically destroyed and out of resources or losing crew and oxygen. The subtleness of the game is it's training you for the last level, which is level 6. And level 6 is basically last as long as you can. Try not to die. And the game teases you and says it's very unlikely you'll last the full allotted 60 minutes. So that's that. So it's building up the skills, the strategy, deciding what you can shoot, what needs to be shot, and developing the techniques. And you see here we've got, I was going to say we've got an almost empty bit of sky here, but a quick scan through. Ooh, the matter disruptor. Now, matter disruptor is a fun thing because really it doesn't help support the base, but it gives you a one-shot kill that takes out everything on a single screen. So if you've got like 5, let's just do it now. Spacebar to prime it, matter disruptor, boom, and they go. There we go. To be fair, I wouldn't have done that normally in a normal game, but that's what we do. So we've got lots going on here. You'll see as we scan through it, helpfully tells you what you're looking at. Although with time you kind of remember what all the keys are in your screens 1 to 10. It also mentions airlocks. So we've got a central corridor that runs around the inside of the base. That's represented by that white section. And those airlocks decide how fast people can move around. And of course, the faster that people can move around, the quicker they'll get things repaired. Because they're not great at repairing, it has to be said. And a lot of the time when they're repairing is because they've got nothing better to do. So, see, like that, 40% damage. So, there we go. We got a quiet bit of the game. So, Beyond Software 1983, they'd had a couple of strategy titles out beforehand. On the flip side of the cassette, when you got this, was a demo for something called The Lords of Midnight, which is a strange mix of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and Game of Thrones. Which really will be one that we'll talk about in a later game, which was it's still widely regarded as one of the best RPG fantasy games in Spectrum, with mountains and everything. We'll come to that later. But Beyond did a lot of these games that have really stood the test of time, and it's because the focus here is on the gameplay. It's about balancing off resources, but at the same time, it's also about arcade. So it takes that mix of things. Now, at the moment, it looks like the only resource I've got to balance off is the fuel. Obviously, fuel is being built as we go through. Fuel is being built. That makes it sound a curious one. Here we go, because you've got a power plant. But then later on, you're going to be able to refresh supplies from the docking bay. And you also have something called freeze time, which allows you to basically freeze the time in the real world, but you can still play the game. But all you can do is allocate supplies and everything. But that takes a lot of fuel. I've got 300 fuel. You know what, let's just briefly jump into freeze time now. So we can we go back to real time. Let's have a look at our status. Okay, so we have these are all the things that are going on in the game, and we can have a look at the damage on the base as well. Okay, that recycling unit of 47% damage is probably going to want to do some repairs. We'll alter that. Let's take the crew up from 10 to 20 on that one. Now, the only thing this doesn't do is it doesn't tell you how much fuel you're using. You'll see in a second why this is really, really painful. So we'll put you up to 30. And the freeze generator, we'll alter that. Let's just put let's put 50 into there. For the repair. Got some people left, so let's just pop that in there. Right, everybody's going to go and repair something. Come out of there, and we shall go back to real time. So the game time is still where it was before. We still have 150 odd seconds left of our 10 minutes of this level. We've got time very briefly to talk about the scanner. So the screen report that you're seeing along the bottom there. The numbers 9 and 0 went into red. That means there's an alien UFO, and it's locked on. It's got to decide it's going to bomb a target. So the rhythm is the UFOs will fly around nonchalantly. They'll then decide on the target, and when they do, the number will come up red. They will fly in, bomb the target, fly out, then fly in again to bomb the same target, fly out again, and then become nonchalant once more until they're allocated another target. So that kind of gives you sort of radar. So, for example, look there. Nothing is happening on that one, but it's gone red now. Or if you're on the screen, it's flashing green. So I love that. It goes nonchalant, just goes, I'll bomb that right above it. Boom. Selects a target and gives it a lock. But here's the thing, I know that that's flying away again. And I've got 2 here, and I'm near the end of the level, so we'll just zap them with the scanner. So he's bombed once, going back to the horizon. And before he comes back in again, we'll take him out from far away with that. And we'll do far away from there. So now here, 1, 2. There it is, just out of visual range. Wait for you. Nothing coming on. Let's just have a quick check that there's no other big. Oh, there's 2 there. They're closer in, so let's just see if we can take them out early. 50 seconds to go on this level. And your level score, of course, if you're 1 shot on every single UFO, no damage taken, nothing gets through the scanning systems, you will score 100%. As you'll have seen from this playthrough, I've not managed 100%. So I'm not going to get a great score here. I'd be quite happy if it's above 20%, it has to be said. There's a lot of damage being taken. There's at least 2 that were in the 40s. And at this late stage, you know what? There we are, mad at, and it drops it. Oh, great, that's handy. So we can just go to my scrolly dog thing. Chase after this. Like now, this actually, this little thing in the bottom corner where you've got that 3D representation. That was pretty groundbreaking. Even though we're at 19, didn't even get the 20% I wanted. That was. Let's just bring that down there. Okay, so that's Psytron. That's 10 minutes. That's save 19. If I was back in 1984, I'd probably load in the same state from the tape. Here, of course, I can just grab the snapshot of the game and move back again. Let's just have a little. Let's just bring that game up into full screen again, so we can talk about some of the elements on the screen. Because you've got flip screen animation there, which is incredibly fast for the Spectrum. And the reason it's flip screen, of course, is scrolling in the Spectrum was not the greatest of events. That central corridor, as I said, you've got the 3D representation of that, the little gun sight and the recharging thing, your screen report, your time left, crew in the screens, damage and fuel, your screen report, and your board bit. So there's a lot of information that's actually on the display there. And it just makes for a really involved, hectic game. I mean, that was 10 minutes. I'm playing it now, and I'm thinking, that wasn't 10 minutes. But it was. It's a game that really does demand focus in those short bursts of time, and it is quite long. It is incredibly difficult. As I said here, it looks like I've only played this 3 or 4 times, but I've probably got about 15 goes to level 4, and I've got to get that average up to about 60, which means I'm going to need to get some games in the 75 or the 80% accuracy. So I need to be much more accurate in my shooting. I need to be not taking as much damage, and if I do, I need to get the repair crews in there much faster. So there's a lot going on. And then in the next level, I'll have to deal with docking spaceship and cargo transfers to keep supplies up, which is level 5, and you need to get your percentage on that. And then level 6, it will be that how long can you last before you die. It's about 10 to 12 minutes is the average, even with the developers. The 1 minute time is 1 hour. 1 minute. 1 minute still feels impossible the way I started there. But it is all there. It's a great little strategy game. It was impressive on the Spectrum for its time. I think it still is as well. Okay, they're not wonderfully realistic graphics, but they're very stylized. You can see what's going on, and trust me, the heat of the action, it doesn't matter that you're just talking monochrome with a bit of blue and a bit of yellow background and no happy little trees anywhere either. It's just there. It works. It goes through nicely. That is Psytron from Beyond Software, one that you can look it up. It's a fun one. It takes a bit of time to get used to. World of Spectrum is a full manual as well, which is always a bonus in this case because it is a PDF of a significant number of pages. Significant 20. It's a 20-page PDF. I say 20. That must be awkward. Let's not be counting the inside and the outside as well to get to 24. Nope, can't make that work either. Anyway, yep, that's that. That's Psytron. I'm Ewan Spence. Thanks very much for watching once more Retro Spectrum. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. And you can get your alerts for the subscription. Have a look at the arcade. We're building up a nice little stock of all Spectrum games in there. So your recommendations of what you'd like me to have a look at next are always welcome. You can watch me live stream at twitch.tv/EwanSpence. These are all recorded from the live stream, but there's more chat before and there's more chat after. So pop along, subscribe there, and you get the notifications when I go live. You can find me on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Ewan, EWAN. But for now, it's time for me to say I'm going AFK, and we will see you. That's me, my Spectrum, the streaming setup and everything, on the next Retro Spectrum coming up soon. Ta-ra for now.